Hello soulmates, you're welcome to another sewing and drafting tutorial. My name is Style by Sheyi. I'm grateful to all my subscribers, I'm grateful to the viewers, and I'm grateful to those that have been liking and commenting and sharing my video. Thank you guys. So today we'll be drafting and sewing a lovely wrap dress. The upper part is actually a wrap, like an overlap, while the down part is a two-step peplum. And please like this video, share, comment, and also subscribe. For those that have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and let's get started. I'll see you in class. Now we're in class. What we're going to be drafting now is the half scale. We will draft the half scale first. That's the half cut, because the half cut it's an overlap, like a wrap top, while the down part is a peplum. So what we'll do first is by drafting the half cut first. Half inch as my starting point, then I'll rule the line. So now her shoulder is 16 divided by 2, that's 8. You all know how to draft the basic bodies, but for those that are just learning, let's do that. So after getting her shoulder of 8 inches, now I'm going to get her under bust is 14.5, her breast point is 11, then while her half cut I'm going to use 17, that's plus half inch for sewing allowance. So now I'll repeat the measurements here: 11, 14.5, then 17.5. Then I'll rule the line, then I'll connect all the lines together. Then whatever you have here in between, from the breast point to the under bust, whatever you have is what you repeat up here as her bustier line. So I have 3.5, so that's what is going to be her bustier line. So connect the line. So what we're not going to do is before the shoulder measurement here, I actually forgot about that. Because it's an overlap, so you will not use her nipple to nipple measurement. Nipple is 3.5, that's 7, that's 3.5 plus half inch, that's 4 inches. So you rule 4 inches straight down from the starting point here. 4 inches, you rule it down. Okay, now we can now start taking her measurement from this 4 inches. So now I will now put her shoulder measurement of 8 inches here. We are going to be drafting the front and back on this paper because I don't want to waste paper. So there's no need doing a separate paper for back and a separate paper for the front. So just pay attention to what we are doing. So on the chest line here, I'll repeat the same shoulder measurements. Then I'll connect my lines together. Okay, our basic, normal, we have our shoulder slope, our neck width 3 by 3. For front, we'll use 1 for back. So now let's connect everything together. The front, then our shoulder slope. So in between this shoulder slope and this place, you get the midpoint. Whatever you have there, you mark. Then you go in by half inch for the front. You go in by half inch for the front. So now let's input her circumference. Her round bust is, you can decide to add half inch for ease, then plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. You repeat the same thing on this line, on the bust line. So you come down to the waist. Our waist is 30, then 1 inch for sewing allowance. So now we connect the lines together. You just take this one up like this, then on this other line you take it down. Yeah, so now we are done with the back. So let's work on the overlap for the front. She doesn't want the deepness to go very deep, like to be very deep, so I'm going to use her chest line to get her deepness. So that's 7.5. So let me use her chest line. So what you will now do is you will now go to this neckline here, because now we are working on the front. On the neckline here, you start rolling it to this chest line like this. Then you now take it to the edge, to the extreme end here. So are you seeing the line? So this is the front and this is the back. Let's come to the armhole. So for the front, we went in by 1/2 inch for the front. So you take it down like this, and you now take it to, then you now connect like this. But for the back, there's not going to be any 1/2 inch for the back, so just take it straight like this, then like this, because our back is always wider than our front. So this is the front, this is the back, this is the front, this is the back. So now we can now cut. You can decide to add as many allowance that you need. It is not compulsory you must do 1 inch. So what you will do is let's cut out the back first from this paper. So since we already have what we are drafting here, our line here, so you can remove this one. Just remove this one like this. When you get to this place, you stop. Yeah, so just remove this one so that you can now cut the back like this. So let's cut the back first. Okay, so after folding like this, after cutting off this one like this, then you can now fold this one inside so that it will be easier. Are you seeing it? So that you can now cut the back on your fabric. So let's fold our material and cut the back out. The back, you fold your fabric into 2 before you cut it. Okay, so now I've finished cutting the back. Now let's cut the front. I'm going to remove it like this. Half inch we went inside on the armhole side. You remove it. So just use your pin to secure these two like this, so that when you are going to sew, it will be okay. use your pin to secure it like this. You go to your machine now and you just sew from here to the other opening. You just sew from here to here. So now we are done with this one. Now let's cut the down part. I'm going to cut 2-step peplum of 20 inches, but we cannot do 10-10 for both. One has to be very long, one has to be longer than one. So I think we should do one 17. Sorry, we should do one 13 inches, then we do the other one 7. So we have 7 and 13 inches, making 20 inches altogether. So now the first one, we're going to cut the first one of 7 inches. How do you fold your fabric so that you can manage your fabric? Okay, 7 inches plus 1 inch for seam allowance for turning at the hem and maybe joining it to the waist. Yeah, so now our total waist is 30 inches. We use 30 inches for her total waist. We're not going to divide how to cut your radius, your peplum, how to fold it. So you will divide 30 divided by 6.28. Yeah, so we have 4.7 to your length of 7 inches. So what I have here is 11.7. So let's just say 12 inches. So now we are going to fold our fabric. So I have 13 here. Let me just use it, but I have to fold 12 inches. So now on this side, it gets 12 plus 12, that's 24. So make sure the length like this will be 24 inches. This fabric it's a chiffon. It's shaking. If you are not careful, it will mess you up. Okay, so guys, I've cut it out. This is it. Then you will now fold this into 2 to the end here. Yeah, so this is how to cut your peplum 360 degrees. So you mark it round like this. This is how you place it. 4.75, 4.75. So this is 4.75. Let's calculate it if we are correct. So you calculate like this. So now I have 8 here. Total that I have here is 8 inches. That's 8 times 4. That's 32 inches. I remember we need 30 for her waist. So the 2 inches is fine for the zip allowance at the back. So it is okay like this. Now we said we need 7 inches. This is the 7 inches here. So you can see this is how to manage your fabric when cutting a flare. So you mark 7 inches round. Can you guys see my chalk? I hope you can see it. Okay, so this is, we will now cut off. Let's cut the down one off it first. Okay, so now let us remove the 4.7. Okay, so one thing is, before I cut it out, if you want the exact measurement, the exact 30 inches, like you don't want any zip allowance, you don't want anything, just go up here by ½ inch. You go up by ½ inch and rule it around. That means you are actually minusing ½ inch from your measurement. So by the time you now calculate, you might end up getting your exact measurements. I just did that so that you can, in case you don't want any excess allowance on your peplum. Yeah, so this is our peplum. So you slit one side, open. Yeah, so we are done with the first one. So I'm going to use this calculation that I did here. Hope you all understand. So mates, I've cut the second one. Like I told you, I said I was going to cut it off camera because I already did I already showed you guys how to cut the first one. So this is how it's going to be. This is this. So I'll go and join this one. I'll join the back. Okay, so guys, you know I said I was going to join the shoulder together. So I've joined the back shoulder to the front shoulder. So this is how it is now. Yeah, when I was stitching this place, I left small allowance here. Then also on this side I left small allowance, like I didn't stitch everything down. So now this is the bias strip that I have cut. So I will now take it like this. Yeah, like this, and now sew with 1/4 inch, 0.25. I told you I was going to use the bias to turn it. You know, I actually said I wanted to use the fabric in turning it, but because it's a chiffon, it was not giving me a little bit, like it was not smooth the way I want. So I had to lose it back and I use a normal black bias to turn the overlap. So you can see this is it. So now the next thing I'm now going to do is to just hold it with 1 inch on both sides. Then I will now, after holding down with 1 inch, this is the peplum. So I'll place the two on it like this. Are you seeing the way I'm placing it? So I'll place it like this and like this. Then I'll sew it round. Then I will now attach it to this one before attaching the sleeve. Okay, so I have finished joining the peplum to the upper bodies. So now what I will now do now is to fix the sleeve. Okay, so mates, this is the sleeve. I fixed the band and also pleats it. You can see the pleats. Look at it here. It's a very short dress. That's what the client wants. So guys, yeah, I'm done making this pretty gown. I've attached the sleeve. I told you about the rope on the hand. She doesn't want an elastic. This is the other hand, and this is the gown. Yeah, you can see it's so beautiful, so fine. This is it. If you enjoyed this tutorial, kindly like this video, comment and share so that others can see it too. Yeah, thank you everyone.